What's up, guys? I'm CozyColt. I'm the host of your podcast here at GG's in Chat. This is our first ever podcast. We are super excited to bring it to you. I'll throw it over to my co-host, ChazBirk, who's going to break down what we're going to do here.
Yeah, what's up, guys? I'm ChazBirk. Super excited. Thank you guys all for tuning in. First ever podcast, as Cozy said. Today, we're going to kind of be going through big topics in the gaming industry. We got some cool stuff coming up. Sports, we've got the Super Bowl recap. We've got the NBA All-Star game. And for all you EU folks, we do have some drama possibly in the Premier League, so stay tuned for that. And we're going to end it off with our sound off segment. But to start it out, we're gonna throw in our guest interview here at the beginning. She's a career firefighter. She's worked in film and production. She's a public speaker, a mom, but most importantly, and yes, more important than being a mom, she's an avid gamer. Please welcome in cute Janessa.
Hello, everyone. What's going on? Janessa here, and super excited to be here. CozyColt and ChazBirk. Oh my gosh, what an honor! What an absolute honor to be here.
I can tell you the honors all ours. We are very happy that you were here to join us for a very special first episode. I hope that your day is going well. Hope it's all right over down there in New Mexico. But let's get it started off. You've been playing video games basically your entire life, so I'm just kind of wondering what got you started with gaming. When did you first start gaming? What made you fall in love with it, or what's going on there?
So gaming is something that I've always been into, right? I think anyone who games into their adulthood typically did some form of gaming when they were little kids, and that was for sure the case with me. I started gaming probably when like the first Atari systems came out. And I know you two young bucks are you've only read about those like in books. Well, actually, no, you guys don't even know what books are anymore. You guys just use tablets. But
I know, right?
But yeah, I started off, my dad brought home like an Atari, like a 2600, I think is what it was called. Played that a little bit. It was kind of dopey and dorky and hokey, but like, it was like the pinnacle of gaming. And then really, but like, I don't think I could call myself a gamer until like I got into like playing Nintendo and the classic Super Mario Brothers and blowing in the cartridge and all that jazz.
Yeah, game's not working. You just take it out.
Shockingly, I do remember that. I do remember that phase at least. So I was there for that one.
Yeah, it was one of those things that was pretty phenomenal nonetheless, because to fix it, you just kind of slammed it into it a little harder and just crossed your fingers that you didn't break any pins. But like, I mean, we know so much more now than we do then. But but gaming, yeah, it was for me, it was kind of a good outlet. And I think probably like other individuals who got it like so heavily into gaming, it was like a certain kind of culture that really wasn't necessarily robust back then, or at least as it is compared to now. But my gosh, man, dude, like that was like my friend. I was like a nerd girl back then, and I was just socially awkward in every single way. And gaming was just a good outlet. Like I was good at it, and I could have a lot of fun. And I was like that younger sister that was beating the older brothers and all the brothers' friends, and they're just like, "What is going on here?"
Thank goodness you weren't my sister.
Yeah, right. Oh, I would have just had to put you in a headlock or something and be like, "Okay, I'm better than you in something," right?
Yeah. Oh, is that a challenge there, sir?
Slightly flexes the traps. Like,
so what's up?
Yeah, but and with that passion, it kind of grew into something, I would say something more constructive, right? Almost to and an identity that I attached myself to. I know in high school, like Pokemon was not like as cool as it is now, like where you're showing off like what you caught on Pokemon Go. But I actually played on, I kid you not, the old school Game Boy, that the old big block white one with the green screen, playing Pokemon Yellow. I did not start off with blue or red, but I was an avid Pokemon Yellow fan. And I'm telling you, like, it's so funny, like the stark contrast between today's gaming and the days of yesteryear, because I remember having to go to a comic shop to go read through the local Nintendo Power to see what game kits were in there, and I was so poor I couldn't afford it, so I would
just read it all
just in there reading till they tell you to get out. Yeah.
But and then I found like-minded friends who also played. And that was something that I didn't think existed. Like World of Warcraft was kind of really starting to hit its stride during that time. And you heard of like BlizzCon being a thing, and these big, like massive, or these MMO RPG players, like like starting to become like create friendships over it. And to think that I could do that in the Pokemon community was like, I didn't even think that that could ever happen, but it did. And meeting up with a bunch of local Pokemon trainers, we actually just played to the point where like, we're really good at this. And we should try to like enter into some tournaments. And that turned into us ultimately traveling across the country and competing and actually being top ranked and making quite a few successful runs at US Nationals. So I have quite a storied history on that. So
making an international playing Pokemon Yellow. I love that.
I didn't even know that was a thing. Like, especially back then, how difficult was it to like find, these tournaments and get involved in that? Because there was, I mean, I don't know how long ago this exactly was, but with social media and everything nowadays, it would be pretty easy, I would think. But back then, I'm not sure.
Well, that's a good question, because as far as Pokemon was concerned, the trading card game was kind of a craze on its own right. And they had very well-established tournaments that were anywhere from local to regional to national. And it was kind of one of those things where individuals like myself who played the RPG and wanted to do so competitively kind of like got stuck with these real makeshift, we'll put you off into the corner and you could go ahead and wear your nerd cap there. And it just, obviously it was not substantial enough to really like say, hey, I'm a really good Pokemon trainer when you whoop the same 8-year-old 9 times.
Yeah. That's what I do on Call of Duty these days, though. So just so we're clear.
So you know the feeling on a day.
I know how it is.
Yeah.
I do know how it is.
But because my crew, because we amassed, I actually amassed a really, really strong Pokemon trainer crew of like very competent and very smart individuals. Anytime we traveled, and we always traveled in a group, we were actually very prominent. Like we stuck out like a sore thumb, because we typically would just wipe the top 3 places almost any place we went. I mean, very rarely. I think maybe once, if I can recall, if I'm thinking right now, we did not take the top 3 places. But it wasn't until we ran into a tournament out in Phoenix, and it was called the Pokemon Rocks America Tour. It was like a 10-city stop where they just rented out a big old giant convention center, and like tons of people like showed up, and they were just all Pokemon fans. They held like kind of like, again, like a little mini tournament, but this time it was you'd go through like this mini tournament as many times as you can, and then they draw your name. If your name got drawn, or you got a ticket to put your name in a bowl, and if they drew your name, you could go play on this big screen. And they told us there was about 75,000 people in attendance that day.
Jeez.
Yeah, wow. It was big. And so this was for no prize money whatsoever. And again, this was kind of just like a byproduct of just the regular Pokemon convention-esque kind of fanfare. But my team had gotten drawn for all 3 of the major battles. And I was the first one to go. And we ended up running into a gentleman by the name of John Hirschberger, who at the time was the director of Pokemon USA. He was like the big guy who handled a lot of like the PR stuff. So not director, but like director of PR, what have you. And so he kind of noticed that we were just killing it. And he came and talked to us, and I just let him know, hey, this is what we're about. This is what we're looking to do. And I was like, if we get pulled for the finals, I was like, just watch. I think you'll be really impressed. And sure enough, like we garnered his attention, and he saw that my name got pulled first. And I specialize in really obscure strategies. It's almost like a counter strategy, the way that I play Pokemon. And so like all the big major players that people usually use when they battle, I'm just playing counters. And so I went in with these underused Pokemon that were just completely obscure, and I just absolutely decimated this guy. I'm telling you, like there was a particular, I wish I could go into detail, but we don't have time, but there was a particular moveset that finished it off, where the whole crowd just went silent because the guy threw out was just a total dweeb, and it fucking KO'd a Mewtwo in one shot. And after the silence, you heard this roar of 75,000 people just absolutely erupt. And he looked right at me, walked up to me. He's like, when you're done, we need to talk.
That's crazy.
That is crazy.
I didn't even know that there were different strategies. I never played Pokemon religiously. I've played them, and like I just went out there and picked the ones that look the coolest. So it's kind of cool to hear about strategy and then like people like, getting ready, picking their Pokemon based on the other people.
I could go on and on. I mean, I could probably put on a class. It could be a podcast in its own right. Just about
a podcast within a podcast.
Strategies. But yeah, I mean, and that's what it did it. And so after that year, we kept in contact through like phone calls and emails. And he told me, he's like, look, I can't tell you too much, but this next year, he's like, we're going to do some service to the RPG players. And sure enough, they did the 10th anniversary Pokemon Rocks America. I'm sorry, Journey Across America. It was like a 30-something city tour where each regionally held tournament, the winner of that would go to U.S. Nationals and effectively be crowned like top ranked, 30 trainers in the country. And I got to the second round. So I got taken out by a real shitty, just a luck of the draw. Someone just pulled a 30% chance of something to work, and it worked for them.
It worked. I love it.
And so I got taken out the second round, which is okay. But like, because I knew John Hirschberger, he introduced me to all the cool people of Nintendo of America and the rest of his staff over there at Pokemon USA. And the guy from Nintendo America, because you had to submit your game cartridge and they reviewed your data to make sure there was nothing hacked on it. Wow. And it was super crazy because they were going to hand it back to you the day of the tournament. And the guy from Nintendo of America, who specifically had went through everyone's game data, told me, he's all like, you have the most unique strategy I have ever seen. And he's like, and all of us have been talking about it all night. He's like, and I want to let you know you're favored to win. And like,
wow, that would make me just like scream with joy. I'd be like,
that'd make me more nervous.
I was super giddy. I was absolutely super giddy. Like seriously, I like to get that kind of confirmation. And it's a bummer that I got taken out in the second round. But to get that confirmation, like that validation of I've been a nerd girl, and let's take it all the way back. I was a nerd girl who like had no friends really growing up. Who like, the only way that I could get punished by my mother was to take away my Nintendo. All the way to like going up to New York City, which Nintendo of America and Pokemon USA paid for. They paid for me and my significant other to fly out there. They put us in a 5-star hotel a block away from Times Square. They gave us spending cash. I mean, it was just dope.
That is awesome.
And have
just
like
for playing Pokemon,
just for
all brought in for video games. It's crazy what you can do. Like
and I showed this off when we were kind of getting ready, but I want to show the audience this. Like this is like one of my most prized possessions that I have right here. But there you can see I'm a Pokemon Video Nationals champ right there.
Jeez,
so
that's so cool.
That is the coolest thing I think I've seen in the last 10 years. That's awesome.
Yeah, I would say that's probably accurate.
So
that's
very, very
cool.
proud of it. I'm like, but and again, like I said, I've built an identity around gaming, and I've just always been a gamer. So
it's who you are now. I think that's super cool.
Which is how I met you guys.
That's right. All through Twitch. So you want to tell the story, Janessa, about how we, how we all met and have slowly become better and better friends as time's gone on?
Well, I could tell you a little bit about the stories in between, but seriously, the origin story to me is super, super hazy. So I just know that this man, ChazBirk, came from this guy with this beautiful hair, and I was just instantly in love.
It is beautiful.
Well, I spent a long time growing this nice little flow I've got, but I think you were raided into my channel and just chatted away. And as a small streamer, which we will get into later, I love that. I mean, having chat move is such a good feeling. And so I clung to Janessa at that point because she moved chat, and Janessa just, thank goodness, kept coming back and kept coming back. So I do want to thank you so much for that, because truly it makes everything better. And then obviously this great friendship has started.
But that's where I met her as well. Just going through chat. I mean, I'm the king at lurking in all channels. So I actually wasn't lurking in the channel. I was actually live, and I saw this girl, cute Janessa, just talking, just chatting it up. And I was like, "Hey, what's up?" And I mean, months and months passed, and we got to know each other very well. I mean, we're here now, aren't we? But we played some video games together. We'll talk in Discord chats, or just talk on Twitch. We'll go to each other's channels. All three of us stream, and we'll just hop into whoever's live, say, hey, what's up? How's the family? Keep it moving. But that's what I really like about Twitch. I mean, you can make a community of just a bunch of random people online. I mean, I've met people all over the world, both, I mean, from like Canada, Mexico. And I know people over in like Australia as well. So that's what I love about Twitch. You can definitely make a lot of friends. And that's why I'm happy that we met Janessa. She's an awesome person. She does literally everything. She could write a book on her life because she literally does everything.
Absolutely.
It's funny you say that. I'm actually talking, not from my personal life, but like, I've been asked to write some pieces in a book that's going to be coming out. Before I became a firefighter, I was actually in the casino industry for about 14 some odd years.
Oh, yeah.
And a good friend of mine had reached out to me to actually kind of ghostwrite some parts of the book. So pretty soon I'll be a published writer, which will be cool, amongst many other things that
she does everything, chat. She truly, I mean, we couldn't tell you a thing that she hasn't done or doesn't do. So
that's true.
I mean, it's crazy. If you guys haven't already, I mean, you can see the rotator on her camera. Also, the rotator along the bottom at Cute Janessa. All socials. Definitely go give her a follow. Tune into our next Twitch stream.
This girl has the best TikToks. I can tell you that much. It's awesome.
She does it all. I'm serious. So.
Oh, go stop. I mean, don't stop. Stop. No, go ahead. Sorry, guys.
I was just going to say, with that, we are hitting our time limit on the interview section, but you can definitely get your last word in here.
Well, you know what? Again, like, I just want to tell you guys how much of an honor it is to be here in this capacity. I'm such a big fan of both you and Colton, and how well you guys kind of just work so amazingly well together. You guys are funny individuals. You guys are truly genuine people, and which is why I always keep coming back to your guys' channel to watch, because I know what I'm going to get, and I feel as though that you guys are not misrepresenting who you guys are. So for anyone else who's out there watching, guys, make sure you're following these people. If you haven't done so already, comment down below. Get this thing going, because this is just the start. I'm small potatoes compared to the how big these guys are. So
we'll go with that. We'll say that. But yeah, seriously, thank you so much, Janessa. Couldn't have had a better first guest for the GGs in Chat podcast, and we'll definitely talk to you next time.
All right, bye everyone.
Janessa.
Appreciate it.
Janessa is awesome. I love her.
She's amazing. Seriously, chat. If we can get a round of applause for her, I don't know how you do that in a Twitch chat. Maybe just give us some GGs for Janessa.
Yeah, can we get some GGs in chat?
Give us some GGs in the chat. All right. So next we're gonna move into our gaming section. But first, I do want to talk about, if you see the rotator along the bottom, it just changed. If you guys want to be entered in our G2a giveaway, go to Twitter right now. Actually, any point during the episode, but right now would be awesome. Hashtag GGs in chat, at ChazBirk, at CozyColt45, at G2a_com. You will be entered to win 50 loot points next week. We'll be doing the drawing, so you have until next week to make that tweet. But we're going to be 2 weeks. I do apologize. 2 weeks from today will be our next podcast, and you guys will definitely be entered if you tweet that. So for sure, go do that. Next, we're going to go into our gaming section. So I'm sure you guys have heard by now, Microsoft did buy Activision, or is in the process of buying Activision. So we're just, Colton, what does this mean for Call of Duty as a whole? And also the rumored Warzone 2 and Modern Warfare 2 remix.
So that's what kind of was weird about it when it first saw. It's like, Microsoft bought Activision. That's okay, because I like Microsoft as a company. I personally play on PlayStation. I know that you play on PC. But I was just kind of curious as to if that would mean that if Warzone 2 does come out, would it be an Xbox exclusive? Would they make Call of Duty or some Call of Duty games Xbox exclusives, kind of like how Sony has like Spider-Man and some other games? So I'm curious as to what they're going to do with that, or if they're going to just keep it how it is and have it on all platforms.
So rumor has it at least the Warzone 2 and Modern Warfare 2 coming out in next year. rumor has it that those will stay on PlayStation, PlayStation, Xbox, and PC. But I'm curious going forward, past that, once we get out of all the agreements that have been made through this past couple of years, those feed into the following years. But I'm curious, once we get out of those agreements, what will happen? But personally, sure. I just don't see them ever taking Call of Duty off of PlayStation, just because it has had so much success on PlayStation. It would just be crazy to me to see them take it off of an entire console.
Just remove an entire platform. That's less money for them.
Exactly.
I know that does promote the Microsoft part of the Xbox. So I don't really know. I'm definitely not an analytics guy.
Right. That's the thing. You got to get into high level math for that. But I don't see any way that they do take it off. And I hope they don't. Just because I think it's healthy to have that competition there, especially with something as big as Call of Duty is. Mm-hmm. I definitely think it's healthy to have that competition between consoles and things like that. So between platforms. But as far as Warzone 2 and Modern Warfare 2 in 2023, what have you heard about that? Have you heard anything?
So I've heard that there is potentially a new map that's going to be coming out for Warzone. And then of course they're going to be updating the guns. They might bring back some old style guns that were some fan favorites, as well as insert the new ones as they do. But other than that, I haven't really heard a crazy amount about that. Do you know like a release date or anything like that for Warzone 2?
So they were very much, I'll say, cryptic in their message to Warzone 2 and the Modern Warfare 2 coming out. So from what I understand, Warzone 2 is going to be completely separate. It's going to be its own thing. I think that's a big problem with Warzone currently, is it's trying to incorporate all the previous Call of Duties into this one massive game, and it's causing. I truly think that is the root of all the bugs in the game. So I'm looking forward to kind of getting a fresh start. There's some debate whether they're going to incorporate, KD and some skins and things from this Warzone to the next one. And I just hope they give us a fresh start over, because if I'm being honest, Warzone in its current state is I will say it's gotten better over the last maybe couple weeks, month even, but it's still not great. So give us a fresh start.
Rip it all down, tear it down, and build it up from the studs. That's it.
You get it.
Hey, it's okay. I've been playing Apex for basically the last 3 years, ever since it's released, and every single new season. I think we're on season 12 or 13 right now. Just released here probably like 2 weeks ago. I play on PS4, and it's been almost unplayable for me. I know that there has been an issue that they're aware of, which they haven't released a bug or a patch for it, where I'm just getting a frame rate drop ridiculously commonly. I'm getting like probably 10 to 15 whenever I try to go out there and just kind of shoot some people and do whatever, have some fun. But it's just super laggy. It feels like I'm playing some 8-bit Mario or something,
Right.
And it happens consistently with new season releases. So hopefully they can fix that. But I definitely do feel your pain when you're talking about bugs and stuff like that with Warzone.
So you mentioned they have the fix ready. Is that what you said for Apex?
So they have recognized what the issue is, and they've said that they know what the issue is. But they haven't released the patch for it quite yet, because I'm sure that they're still trying to fix it.
Okay. So there's so do you don't have a timeline necessarily? You haven't heard a timeline? Apex isn't my forte, so you're kind of the guy. I'm going to ask you some questions about this one.
Yeah, Apex, it's they usually do updates probably like every Tuesday or so. I expected it to be done last week. It wasn't, so I had to play. I played a little bit this week, but it was just awful.
20 FPS, man. What are we in, like 1990?
I know, right?
Or even 1520, bro.
Exactly.
So kind of with this, the problems Apex is having currently with consoles. I know Warzone has had some issues, specifically more so with the old gen consoles. What do you think about, how quickly will old gen consoles kind of become obsolete? How quickly will these games outpace the ability that these consoles have? What do you think?
I don't think that I didn't think that old gen
And chat,
consoles
feel
were-
free to chime in. Sorry, Colton, I didn't mean to interrupt you, but chat, feel free to chime in on this one. Do you guys think consoles are gonna become old gen consoles will become obsolete, quickly? Will they ever? Or is it already happening? Let me know. Let us know. But yeah, Colton, continue.
Yeah, I think that old gen consoles should still be relevant probably for the next 4 to 5 years, if I had to guess.
Really?
Okay. I mean, I know that I had a PS3. I was very slow to switch over to PS4 whenever I did. But I had the PS3 probably for like 3-4 years after PS4 dropped. Of course, I didn't want to get the first gen because first gen consoles usually are not great. So I tried.
You gotta let them fix their issues first. I agree with that.
So I think that it'll be good for probably the next couple of years, but slowly there's already been games that aren't good with the old consoles. Like the new Miles Morales game. I wanted to play that like crazy whenever they released it because I loved the first Spider-Man, but second one, they made it only good for PS5. So I was kind of sad about that, but I know slowly they're going to stop making games for PS4. I know that they were talking about Warzone 2 potentially not working with the old school Xbox as well as PS4. Yep. So they'll slowly start phasing it out, and then that's whenever I switch over to PC, baby.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Join the club. Man, I feel like you're very optimistic thinking 4 to 5 years.
You think it's gonna be sooner?
I'm in the camp of, we're already seeing it happen. They're having so many issues with these, and granted, some of these issues are happening on PS5 and the new Xbox, but more so it's happening on the older gen consoles. And I don't know. I think it's going to be quicker than 4 to 5 years. I'm thinking I think 3 tops. I'm thinking more in the range of 1.5, even 2 years, but
my PlayStation's my baby. I do not want to upgrade from there.
You can keep it, man. You can keep it. Keep popping in, FIFA 18 and playing it. But
I would not touch FIFA 18. No. Me and FIFA have a bad rap with each other. I'll just say that. Many controllers have been broken.
Fair enough. I have also 2K and FIFA have contributed to the most broken controllers I've had. Ever, which is more than I'd like to admit.
Yeah.
I like this idea. Woodsy says, start a poll less than 2 years or more than 2. I like that idea. So if we could get a mod in chat to throw that out there, that would be awesome. We can come back to that after this next little segment we've got here under the gaming category. So, Colton, what are your opinions on a gentleman's agreement in the CDL?
So the gentleman's agreement is not technically like it's not binding to anything. It's just saying, hey, don't do this. Like I know that there was a tournament for Call of Duty the other day. I know Shotzi for Optic, he used an F8 stabilizer against whenever they were playing against Ultra, like Toronto Ultra. And I don't necessarily have an issue with that. Yeah, I know it's annoying. You don't want to use something that everyone knows is broken, and it's basically just hacking the game. But at the same time, it's there, so why not use it? If you're playing for money, then go get your bread.
These guys are. CDL's a big deal.
Yeah, get that money. That's what I say. So it's a bad thing to do. It makes you look terrible as a person. But at the same time, if you're playing for money, get the money.
To be fair, Shotzi's come out and told everyone it was an accident. He didn't realize that this was on his gun. But I'm in the same party as you, man. GA's. It's just if it's in the game, play with it.
Exactly.
Like Shotzi, sure. If it's a GA, he shouldn't have used it. But my problem is that there was a gentleman's agreement in the beginning. That it's just unnecessary. If it's in the game, it's fair play, in my opinion. I hate and specifically, I've also watched Warzone tournaments where they run customs and they're like, oh, but you can't use stuns, you can't use this, you can't use that, and then inevitably at the end of the match, someone you got a team complaining about another team killing them with some unused or banned gun, and I'm like, it's in the game. Like, get over yourselves, play the game for what it is. If you don't enjoy how the game is, then don't play the game. You know, that's my take on it. So I'm definitely right there with you. But for the sake of Shotzi, he shouldn't have used it just because, you know, they do have that agreement.
Exactly.
And that's just unfortunately where the CDL is. But I do think that those agreements suck.
The agreements suck. I think that, like, if you're not playing for money, if you're just playing with your buddies, or you guys are just practicing for a tournament or something like that, say, hey, let's not use this, then yeah, sure, whatever. But if you're paying for, or if you're playing for, like, I don't know how much the tournament was for, could be a couple thousand or whatever it is. If you're playing for actual money, I mean, that's good. You're going to pay for your rent with, or buy food, or do whatever. I mean, I say take it. I mean, that's just my personal opinion. I might get flamed online for that one, but that's my opinion. I'm sticking with it.
So, no, I'm with you, and I don't have a problem more so with, or I have a problem with gentleman agreements being a thing, but I don't necessarily, what I don't like is Shotzi used it even though it was agreed upon. You know what I mean? Like, you shouldn't use it if it is agreed upon, but there shouldn't be that in the first place.
It shouldn't be an issue at all. Yeah, exactly. It shouldn't have to be an issue. Fix your game and then boom, you're good.
Right. So we've got division here. No matter what, GAs will be there no matter how we feel. And unfortunately, I mean, I think this is kind of what I'm getting at. They are there. No matter how we feel, it's there, and Shotzi shouldn't have used it. But my initial kind of complaint is that it's there.
Yep.
And then we got Jster in here. GAs are dog. GAs are dog. And that's what I'm trying to say. And Jster knows from experience. This is coming from a man who's played many a LAN tournaments, played lots of hours of competitive Call of Duty. So from the man himself. Oh, and we got the poll. The poll was a tie.
We're torn.
More or less than 2 years. It was a tie. So, you know, it's still up for debate. If anyone,
I'm leaning like 3, 4, 5 years, something like that. But
see, and I'm in the 1.5 year range. So, you know, it's a tie. It's a tie between us. It's a tie between Shat. Remains to be seen.
I just have to flip
but with that being said, we're gonna have to cut that one and move on to our sports section. So,
speaking of
Super Bowl recap.
Oh no!
Speaking of flipping a coin, that's
that's
good. You want to talk about it? You want me to talk about it? I don't think you want me to talk about it.
So every year the Super Bowl is like one of the most bet on sports events, and I mean that's just how it is.
Especially here in the States.
You bet on like the national anthem length. You bet on the coin toss. You bet on what color Gatorade is going to be poured on the coach that wins.
Yep, I've been there.
You bet on first guy who scores a touchdown, if somebody's going to throw an interception, blah, 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 blah. Rather than just actually betting on the game. Yeah, I think the Rams are going to win, so I'll bet $40 on them. So Chaz and I decided to take a nice little bet here on the coin toss, the most intense coin toss on there. We bet $100. He bet 100 on heads. I bet
it was always heads, baby. It was always heads.
I said tails never fails. It failed me, so I was sad about that. It was a great game nonetheless, but we were literally just both on the edge of our seats screaming, and I ran around the house like, oh my goodness! It was. We had
a FaceTime call going, and I just heard screaming from the background of Colt. It was That's all I could hear from the background. Yep. And from Colton. So yeah, I took home $100 extra that day, but we're not going to talk about all the money I lost on the rest of the game because I bet on just about everything possible from Gatorade color all the way to how many yards the quarterback will throw, how many receiving yards the receiver will have, and and so we're not going to talk about how much I lost outside of the coin toss. What we're going to talk about is that I won $100 on the coin toss.
Well, it was a great game, though. I really liked the game. It was back and forth. It's not like it was like the Seahawks versus Broncos, like when 2013. It was just like I had I don't even remember what it was, like 38-6 or something like that.
But it wasn't a good game. It was
dumb. Like, it was just so boring. So at least it was a good game to watch. Cooper Kupp, freaking stud. I'm curious as to where he's going to place in our fantasy football drafts next year. So I'm curious as to where he's going to go there. Matthew Stafford, I knew for sure that he was going to throw a pick. I said maybe 2 before the game.
Hey, I bet on 2 interceptions. So I did win that one too, by the way.
Matthew Stafford is also a stud. I'm happy that he got a ring after being in football purgatory up in Detroit.
Matthew Stafford is an above average quarterback, and that's about it. That's all I have to say.
I know that he just won the Super Bowl, but I know that all the sports talk shows and all that stuff, they're saying, "Oh yeah, he's top 5 in the league now." I'm like, well, maybe he's probably 10. 6 or 7. I don't think he's top 5 quite yet. But I think he's better.
I'll give him top 10.
He's better than what you give him credit for. I don't know why you hate Matthew Stafford so much.
You
also hate OBJ.
OBJ is a diva. OBJ has not, or he lives on 1 catch he made 8 years ago, bro. He made 1 catch doing this, and everyone said, "Ah!"
Hey, he scored a touchdown in the Super Bowl. He scored a touchdown in the Super Bowl.
He was wide open. You could have caught that football.
You could have
caught that football.
You don't know that. I have terrible hands.
And then he tears the ACL, which prayers up to the man. That sucks. I don't wish that upon anyone.
The last time that he tore his ACL was in the same knee, and it was against the Bengals.
I do. It's kind of crazy, man.
I don't know what it is, but I think the Bengals are OBJ's kryptonite. So I mean, it is what it is.
I just want to pull this up on screen. I'm not the only one. B Jinx. Yes, sir.
Yeah.
He's a diva that just wants to complain when he doesn't get the ball and doesn't want to put in the effort to get the ball. So that's my take.
Whatever.
Take it or leave it.
We can agree to disagree. I'll just say that. I think that OBJ I don't think he's incredible. I don't think he's top 5 in the league, but I do think that he is a good receiver.
Borderline top 30. So do you think that the Rams truly deserve the win there? Do you?
I do think that they did. I was okay with seeing either team win. I'm a Colts fan, so care who won. I mean, I was okay with Joe, whatever you want to call him. I was okay with him winning the Super Bowl. But at the same time, I think that Matthew Stafford deserved it more because he's just been in Detroit his entire career. It's been wasted he's a good quarterback. What are you looking at me like that for?
Matthew Stafford desered that? Get out of here.
I think he did.
Listen.
He threw 2 interceptions. That's okay, but
listen. I don't hate Joe Burrow, but I dislike him. I was present when he gave the Oklahoma Sooners a 70 burger. He just couldn't quit throwing touchdowns, and I was crying in the stands, getting kicked out, the whole 9 yards. But that's besides the point. I mean, this dude played lights out at the end of the year. Okay, Joe Burrow truly deserved that win, and without a ghost PI or holding or whatever they called there at the end. I mean, the game went from the refs saying, "I see nothing."
The refs were
blind,
non-existent. Yeah, the refs were non-existent.
It went from that to foul on the Bengals, flag on the play, throw a flag on everybody. The Bengals lose the game. That's what they said.
You're forgetting about T. Higgins grabbing Jalen Ramsey by the face mask and throwing him into the next zip code.
Jalen Ramsey initiated the contact, okay?
He grabbed him by the face mask.
Jalen Ramsey initiated the contact, okay? If they were going to call it on anyone, it would have been on Jalen Ramsey, or it would have been, a flag on both. Don't give me that junk.
I'm glad that you're not.
We have to agree to disagree. Next thing, All-Star Weekend. All-Star. What's going on here? How did we become co-hosts? Next thing, All-Star Weekend. All right, dunk contest, 3-point contest last night. What'd you think?
Cat winning the 3-point contest? Are you serious?
Right? Ridiculous.
Are you serious?
Longest odds at plus 1200 too. I could have made a fat stack on that, but
I'm sure some people did make a fat stack on that.
I'm glad to see. My money would have been on Zach LaVine, and he was awful.
Exactly.
It was bad.
everyone else was awful. I could not believe that Cat won that. I'm happy for him because I've liked Cat and his career's been very underwhelming.
I look like a hater, but I hate Cat too. Man has no will, no desire to win basketball games.
You hate everyone, bro. Do you like?
I do. I look like a big fat hater right now.
He is a hater over here, bro.
The only one I've had a good reason to hate is Joe Burrow, because I literally watched him put up 70-something points against OU in the stands, crying and getting kicked out. But the rest, I don't really have a reason, but I swear there's people I like. I swear there's people I like. I mean, Cat just doesn't have the desire or the will to win anything. He's just it's frustrating to watch a guy with all this talent. I'm not gonna deny he's amazing at basketball. He just doesn't care, and that's frustrating to watch as someone who cares and has no talent. Okay, it's just frustrating.
And you're made of glass as well. So
I'm made of glass. I've broken every bone you can think of, doing absolutely nothing. But we're gonna, we'll slide past that. The dunk contest, trash, bro. Did you watch that?
I was almost falling asleep.
I
was with other people and they did fall asleep. I was like, "What is the dunk contest?" Just has slowly gotten worse and worse over the years.
It was so bad. We had Anthony Edwards. Anthony Edwards shot 20% in a dunk Not Anthony Edwards. What am I saying? Jalen Green shot 20% in a dunk contest. A dunk contest. You're touching the rim when you do it, and he shot 20%. Like, it's just upsetting that this is what it's become.
We've lost just all of our dunkers, and nobody wants to compete in them because
that's the biggest thing. No one wants to compete. I think Ja would be electric, but I don't blame him for not wanting to compete. Aaron Gordon needs to come back, bro. He has some unfinished business, but I don't blame him for swearing it off
twice, and he did not win it either of those times. So I understand why he doesn't want to come back, but. Yeah, Aaron Gordon,
I get it, but he has some unfinished business, and I want to see it, okay? Get back here. Get back here, Aaron Gordon. Please save us from that monstrosity we watched yesterday.
I'm sure he watched it, and he's like, yep, well, I'm not going.
I think my grandma could have won that dunk contest, dude. My grandma could have went out there and won a dunk contest, and that's awesome. Just crazy.
I bet she could have like used her walker, get out there, did a backflip off of it, through the legs, and just hang in the rim. That'd be awesome.
My grandma doesn't use a walker, but she could have done it for the showmanship, I
suppose. Exactly. She could use the props.
But that was just horrible stuff to watch. I was upset. I mean, Obi Toppin had a couple good dunks and he won, rightfully so.
I think that he did won, yeah.
There was no one else that even. I mean. Bro, Cole Anthony, his whole thing was he put on Timbs to dunk. He put on some Timberland boots to dunk. It was just a pretty basic.
Yep.
Grabbed it, windmill. I mean,
yeah.
I don't know.
It was very underwhelming.
It was underwhelming, to say the least.
Yeah, I mean, there's just hyping it up all season. I mean, All-Star game or All-Star break should be fun. Should be fun to watch. It's really for the crowd, as well as just the players, just to have fun with it. And I understand some people don't want to do it so they don't get hurt. But at the same time, I mean, dude, entertain us, man.
You got to give us a reason to watch.
Exactly.
I'm at this point, after seeing what we saw, I don't think I'm going to watch next year. I'll catch up, but on the updates later on and say, this dude missed 8 dunks in a row, and I'll say, good thing I didn't watch. You know what I mean? We'll see who's in it. But if it's anything like this year.
At least the person who won the dunk contest deserved to win it.
That's fair. That's a good point.
Because I called it before. I think I called it yesterday in the afternoon. I was like, we'll watch it, see who wins. Somebody's going to win, even though another person clearly deserved to win. And that's just how it goes. That's just how the dunk contest. So I'm glad I was wrong there. But at the same time, yeah, snooze fest, man. Like, heck, I'd rather be playing like chess or something,
Agreed.
I'd rather be playing Apex at 15 frames a second than watching this. Like, come on.
And that's saying a lot. So tonight is the All-Star game. I think roughly 2 hours to a little bit over 2 hours from now, I think, if I remember the start time right.
Mm-hmm.
Who do you got for MVP?
MVP. I don't know, man. I'd like to lean either Steph, LeBron, or KD, but at the same time,
KD's not there, by the way.
That's right. He did get hurt. Yeah, he did.
He's hurt. He was gonna be there. He's hurt. But I read actually a little bit before we got on the pod. His grandma actually passed away. I think it was this morning. So
rest in peace.
Thoughts up to KD.
I hate him, but rest in peace.
As you can tell, also not a big fan of KD, but we hate to see that. So thoughts out to KD for sure.
Of course.
But anyways, so you're sticking with Steph or LeBron, huh?
I don't know, man. There's also Giannis that could do something. I mean, I'll pick.
I need one guy. You're gonna go with Steph. All right.
I'll take Iguodala.
I'll take Iguodala. All right.
Okay.
Hear me out.
Oh,
Hear
no.
me out.
Oh no.
Ja
No.
Morant.
No.
Man's like 21 years old. Man's got bunnies. Man's gonna be. He's young. He's ready. It's his first All-Star game, and I think he's. I think he's gonna be ready to prove a point. I think he's gonna be running around, jumping out the gym, throwing down some ferocious dunks. I wouldn't be surprised to see him just like dive through the rim, like with the ball in hand, just like go straight through.
Like some
I
Space
wouldn't be
Jam
surprised. Yeah, Space Jam type stuff going on here. I'm gonna go out on a limb. Ja Morant, my pick for All-Star Game MVP.
Are they still doing it to where they have to score like 153 points or something like that? Or
I don't know. Actually, I haven't heard the format. I think so. I believe so, but I don't know.
Yeah, I'm okay with that. I really enjoyed the first year that they did it. Unfortunately, it landed on a free throw. That's how they ended, but they've changed the rules since then. So I do like that format. It's fun to watch, as well as the players. You can tell that they're having fun, all just messing around. There's really talented athletes out there, just celebrating the fact that they are really talented athletes, and just
I do enjoy watching it
and just having fun with it. Yeah, exactly. Nobody's trying really hard. It's definitely not as bad as like the Pro Bowl, where people are just kind of like walking. Like, this two-hand touch this year, basically.
It was horrible this year. So I'm with you 100%.
I mean,
we got a real quick question. Hold up. What's our thoughts on Sabonis?
Sabonis, I like him. I think he's really good. I didn't really know. I knew who he was in college, and then of course he went over to the Thunder for a little bit. But I was sad to see him go. I think he's a really talented player.
I think him and De'Aaron Fox in Sacramento are going to be crazy good.
Yeah, I think so as well. De'Aaron Fox has made it for himself pretty good as well. So
if Sacramento was a better organization, I would say, they're definitely a contender. But unfortunately, I don't know how the organization is gonna support them. But I think them two together can carry the franchise, at least to the playoffs a few times. I love Sabonis. I really do. I like Sabonis. I love his game.
You actually like somebody though.
I do. Yeah, I do.
Yeah, I mean, I thought that the Kings were going to do well whenever they had like Rudy Gay. They had who else? Rondo. They also had Boogie, DeMarcus Cousins. So I thought they were going to be good then. They still didn't do anything. So I'm curious as to what they're going to do with this. I really don't think it's much, but they're just not a good organization. But I'd like to be wrong about that as well.
I agree.
As long as they don't mess with the Sixers or the Thunder, that's all that matters to me.
What's the All-Star Game? The All-Star Game is a collection of the top players in the entire NBA. It's a lot of fun. It really is. So next, we got Premier League. Got a little bit of drama in a league that we didn't think we were going to have some. I've got it pulled up here. Man City dropped their last game. 63 points. They're 6 points clear of Liverpool at the top of the table, but Liverpool does have a game in hand, and they're in great form.
Yeah, you got the table pulled up there for it.
I do. I mean, those are the only two really vying for the top spot.
That's how it's been all year. I mean, that's how it's been for like the last 3 years or so. But
right.
I thought that City for sure had the league in hand. I mean, I thought that they were just going to run away with it, but they're trying to make it interesting. I know that they are a really talented team, and I know that
we've got a come on Burnley in the chat. Jaster, you want me to look up where they're at the table real quick? Hold up, I'll find them. Hold on, let me keep scrolling. I'm gonna find them down here.
Like a World War II.
He said no. I won't find it. It took me a while to scroll that far, but I'll just scroll back up. How about
fingers pointing already.
But yeah, I mean, I'm an underdog guy. I want Liverpool to take this away from City. I'm not
a Liverpool fan. I do not like Liverpool.
Wouldn't say I like Liverpool, but I like City less. So,
Yeah, I mean, I definitely have liked City ever since they had the man, the myth, the legend, Mario Balotelli. My number's 45. He wore number 45. He was from Italy. I enjoyed watching Italy. So
I thought you were gonna say you're from Italy. I was about to
he's
say
from Italy.
no.
I'm from Italy.
I was about to say, you're not pulling that one. I won't let it happen.
Hey, I do make a mean pasta dish. Okay, I could have it in me. I have a little.
Whatever you
bit
say,
though.
man. Whatever you say. But
I
I'm gonna
like City.
pull. I'm gonna pull for Liverpool. The rest of this season. Seeing that I am your basic United
I dislike
fan.
Liverpool.
And,
I only hate Liverpool because I have to play them on FIFA all the time, and I have to play against Mane and Salah, sprinting up the side, crossing it over to whoever's not crossing it. It's so annoying, and I have just started to despise Liverpool because all
That's
people who
funny.
Liverpool
For the whole
is
reason
exactly.
is based on FIFA. Love it.
I mean, it's also because I know some Liverpool fans, and it's fun to just kind of not cheer for their team. So it's fun.
What place is Liverpool? Liverpool is in second right now. They're 6 points behind City with a game in hand. So they're in great form, and they could, pull that back to a 3-point spread.
So do you think that Liverpool, are you pulling for them in the UCL as well? Or who do you want to win? Or who do you think is going to win?
Who do I want to win? I have to go with United there.
Yeah, fair enough.
Do I think they'll win?
United is hot trash.
I mean, it's tough to say, honestly. PSG has the star power.
I mean, I'd like to see Messi do it just because I'm a big Messi fan. But at the same time, yeah, I don't know. They haven't really gotten it together ever since they made the sign to get him this year. But yeah, I think that it'll be probably City again, or maybe an EPL team again. Who knows? Chelsea.
I can see that.
I
can see that.
Who knows? But yeah, I think it's going to be probably an EPL team if I had to guess.
Okay.
I mean, you also
Chelsea's
have,
in there as well.
Yeah. You also have like Bayern as well. I mean, they're always up there fighting. So I don't know if they're going to do anything. I know that they've been kind of just, I wouldn't say quiet because I don't keep up with Bundesliga as much as I keep up with EPL because it's just English players. So it's also easier to watch here in America rather than Bundesliga. It's a little hard to find.
Yeah, I know what you mean. So next, that does conclude our sports section. We're going to move on to our sound off section here. And really quick, before we do that, if you guys haven't already, to enter the G2a giveaway for 50 loot points, go ahead and go over to Twitter, tweet #GGs in chat at myself, ChazBirk, at CozyColt45, and at G2a_com. At those three, #GGs in chat. I'm going to leave this up on the bottom in case you forget. And you will be entered for the drawing 2 weeks from today on our next episode. And we'll be keeping track. I'll be watching. So you guys better enter. If I see you in chat, you better enter.
And we'll be watching like hawks. So better enter. I'm excited for it. Maybe I win it. Who knows?
Possibly. It's if I have any say, it won't happen. But who knows? But yeah. So let's sound off. Would you like me to sound off first this week?
Sound off, man. Let's hear what you got to say.
All right, I'm gonna sound off real quick. So obviously this is our first episode. You guys probably won't know how this goes. Sound off section. Each podcast, each episode, I, along with Cozy, are gonna pick one thing that we want to bring up, whether that's news, whether it's unpopular opinion, whether it's just something we're passionate about, anything on earth you could think of, we could bring it up. And in the future, we would like to get some audience input on this as well. So maybe start tweeting us your sound offs, and we'll pick some of the best ones for next episode or future episodes. But this week, I just want to bring up something I'm passionate about: supporting small streamers. And Cozy's super good at this, so I'm going to let him talk about it a little bit as well. But not just on Twitch when I say support small streamers. I'm talking TikTok, Twitter, Instagram. I mean, any socials you can think of, support your small streamers, support each other, you know? We're all in this together. We're all grinding together. We all want to become great, but we can't do it alone. You know what I mean? So, one more thing that I haven't kind of spoke to is Hover. If you guys aren't on Hover already, you need to be. It's like TikTok for gamers. It's awesome. It's awesome.
I have never heard of Hover before, but
you have not heard of Hover.
Never heard of it.
You need to look it up, and anyone in chat needs to look it up. Okay.
Wow.
Because it's awesome. It's like TikTok for gamers. It can link directly to your Twitch. So if I watch your clip, Cozy, and I like what I saw, I click the Twitch button, follow you right there. It's so easy. The problem I have, and I'm sure some of you have had with TikTok, is pulling those people over to your Twitch channel. Hover, you don't have that issue. You know, it's right there. They click it, follow, click back, and they're back in Hover, scrolling through.
That sounds like the best. That sounds like the best thing ever, honestly.
It's super easy, and it's a great way to support other small streamers. So,
yeah, I always try my best to support small streamers. I'm always having Twitch pulled up on. I mean, I have a laptop, and then I have my PC right here in front of me. I'm always in a channel, either talking to them, trying to keep chat going. Usually, I'll just say, "Hey, what's up?" I can't stay for long, but I'll still be here lurking. I lurk in I'm currently lurking in 2 channels right now while we're talking right now.
Right.
So I try to give my support, say, hey, what's up, at least just to kind of give them reason to keep streaming, because I'm personally a small streamer as well as you are. So you definitely understand the struggles. But yeah, sometimes just nobody's in chat. You're playing, getting frustrated with the game. It's like, why the hell am I even streaming? Like, what am I doing?
Right.
Here?
It's tough to see, 2 viewers, no chat, and
exactly. So
games. Sometimes it's tough. It's hard on your mental. It's tough. So that's my sound off for this week. Support small streamers. We're all in this together, and we can't do it alone. So that's my sound off.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. TikTok, YouTube, Instagram, Twitter, whatever platforms are on, give their videos a like, a listen, or watch, or whatever. Share with your friends if you want to, or whatever. I try my best to do that. I'm not the best at it, but I still try to do it with as many people as I've made friends with here online. My sound off isn't necessarily as deep as yours. My sound off. How do you throw away a trash can? How do you throw away a trash can? Like
you got to throw it. You got to throw it in a bigger trash can, I think.
Well, the thing is, like, I'm not saying like a small like bathroom trash can. I'm saying like an actual trash can, like where you take
like a dumpster.
No, not a dumpster. Like a regular size trash can. Like what you have like outside your house or whatever. Say it gets like a giant hole in it, or like it burns or something like that, and you gotta get rid of it. You can take it out to the curb, but the dumpster guys or the trash guys will be like, yeah, it's a trash can.
Dump it out. Gonna try to dump this.
Do you throw? You could try to throw it away in a bigger trash can, except for it's hard to find a trash can that's big enough that you could fit that in there. So you could either like you have to like cut it up, you have to melt it down, which is awful for the environment. So I mean, you're just killing the birds at that point. Or you could just like take it to the dump and just like toss it out there, be like, hey, free trash can or whatever. I don't know if Oscar the Grouch would be better to ask, but I don't know.
Yeah, we might need to get Oscar on the next episode just to figure that out. But I mean, to me, you're just gonna be finding an endless, bigger trash can each time until you just can't find a bigger trash can, and then you're screwed.
And you're just, then you have the giant dumpster at that point.
Exactly, and I don't know. That's something I never thought about. Maybe I'll have an answer next episode. Maybe Oscar will get one for us too.
I see that BJing says leave a note. You could leave a note saying this is trash.
He says leave a note.
Leave a note saying this is trash, just for the dumpster guys. Be like, yeah, this is trash. Congratulations.
We get it.
Yeah,
it's our job, pal.
See you later. Just crack up about it.
Hey, real quick, Woodsy says, can I volunteer a sound off? So Woodsy, add us on Twitter. Hashtag GG's in chat, and list us your sound off, and we'll pick the best ones to be on the next episode. So definitely on Twitter. B Jinx, I see you in chat. I can't pull it up because you got to put it on Twitter, boy. Hashtag GG's in chat. But that will conclude today's episode. Again, we want to thank Janessa for being our first ever guest, and she's actually still in here, so I'm gonna throw her back in. There we go. There we go. She was not ready for that one. Janessa, thank you so much for being our first ever guest on the podcast.
Yeah.
And go ahead and plug yourself,
Yeah, well, thanks. It was an honor. Actually, I had to grab some tea because I was sitting there contemplating the crazy conundrum that Cole. Of course he would. Well, thank you for giving me a chance to plug. You guys can find me on any one of my social medias at Cute Janessa. I do a really concentrated effort to make sure I grab that tag as soon as something's on there. So if you want to find out anything I do, all the way from my blogging from way back when to my long format vlogs that I do when I do travel stuff, my TikToks, all that other stuff at Cute Janessa. Really, all I'm looking for is a great conversation. So if you guys have anything to add or want to talk about with any of my stuff, please just comment below. I'm all about finding new perspectives. So you guys, thank you again for having me on. This was an absolute blast.
Awesome.
We
appreciate you.
Fun. Yeah, thank you so much for hanging out here.
Yeah, couldn't have had a better first guest.
I agree.
It's gonna go down in history. It'll go down in history. Love it.
Yeah, thank you.
All right,
guys.
well, thank you so much, Janessa. We'll talk to you. Thank you guys so much for watching the first ever GG's in Chat podcast brought to you by G2a. If you enjoyed what you watched today, be sure to subscribe, be sure to like, be sure to comment your favorite part, and catch us live, twitch.tv/wearecrypticgg for the next episode. Thank you so much, guys. We'll see you next time.